And now we get into the Week 5 preview against the Green Bay Packers. And as Tom and Blue City mentioned, the Giants just happen to be leaving for London tonight on a red-eye flight. They will land early tomorrow morning. I do not envy them in that situation, but it
Not at
is
all.
what it is. And of course, you know me as the history buff. I got to give you the series history. The Packers actually lead the series all time 34, 26, and 2. They have played so many games against each other over the years. I mean, obviously, as I kind of talked about last week when I mentioned the Bears, the Packers are another one of the teams that are the oldest among NFL franchises. And unfortunately, the Giants have lost the last three matchups. That dates back to the infamous Beach Boys playoff game in 2016. And I believe the last time we beat them was in 2013. And that win kind of has an asterisk on that because I remember that was against backup quarterback Scott Tolzien. Remember that was when Aaron Rodgers had a head.
Oh, right,
So if you
right.
want to know the last win against Aaron Rodgers, that would have been right after Thanksgiving of 2012.
Yeah. Wow, that was 10 years ago. 10 years ago was the last time we beat Aaron Rodgers. That's really saying something.
I was like 16 and a sophomore in high school. It's crazy.
We were
And
we
the
were the
last time they
same.
even played each other, remember that snow game at MetLife, December 1st, 2019? Obviously, I'd like to block a little bit of that game out of my memory because it was a Packers blowout win and it was during the Pat Shermer era.
Oh yeah. Oh, Pat Shermer. Remember him.
So I do have another good fun fact for you. The New York Giants are 2-0 in London. I remember both of those wins. The first one being the game against the Miami Dolphins at Wembley Stadium during the Super Bowl season of 2007. And that was obviously the first game played outside of North America. And then there was the game against the Rams, which fittingly enough involved a pick six from Landon Collins.
Well, there you go. I think that's pretty good karma coming in.
And you're ready for another fun fact? This is the first time a London game will feature two teams that are above 500.
Wow. Yeah, well, they keep sending the Jacksonville Jaguars there. What do you expect?
Right? So the Packers are now the 32nd and last team to play their first game at London. So there you go. And I think the next question is who starts at quarterback, the Davis Webb or Daniel Jones. You know where my heart's at, and I think it's going to be Daniel Jones. He's a
Yeah.
warrior.
Yeah, no, Daniel Jones is going to be starting, and it's funny Davis Webb coming into the QB2 spot. I mean, how much history do we have with Davis Webb? He's like been around for he leaves, he comes back. He's like you can't get rid of him. He's like a booger. You can't get off your finger. But yeah, I don't think he's going to be starting. And Daniel Jones, if he's convinced the coaching staff that he's feeling okay and they can see him playing okay, I don't see I don't see Davis Webb coming into the game unless it's absolutely necessary.
Again, I do not want to see him come into that game under any circumstances. Nothing to do with him, everything to do with who I want to see at quarterback. Sorry, I have to repeat that for like the fifth time.
Yeah.
So the next question is, will Leonard Williams play? He has missed the last two games. And as you and I have said, and as Tom has been saying a lot as well, that's a big loss for our defense.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. And you can, we're picking up the slack, which is what's promising about this defense is that even if we do lose someone like Leo, they're able to fill it, but his presence is missed. Like it's very obvious that there are things that are not happening because he's not there. But the good news is that they are picking up as much slack as possible without him being there, which is a sign of a good defense.
So I'm about to crack up at this comment that Scotty said. Daniel Jones should play even if he has to run with a locker. I don't disagree. I don't disagree. Webb shouldn't seal the field ever. Yep.
Oh, that's really
And I
funny.
see Big Steve is making fun of your comment
Yeah,
there.
like a booger.
Another fun fact here, Gano and Gillen both are from the England area. Gillen actually is from Scotland, so both of them pretty much returning to their homeland.
Wait, I don't think I knew that.
Yeah,
I
no,
don't think
it's
I
true.
knew that. Like, I
And
didn't
Scotty's now beating me to the punch with the fun facts, and he's correct. We did go to the playoffs both years we played in London, and Yeah,
Pat
no,
who?
I'd like to forget a bit to block out as much of that guy as possible, but not as much as a certain idiot with a mustache who benched a certain goat quarterback in our history. But that's a discussion for another
We
day.
don't speak his name.
And Deanna Cairns, great game on Sunday. Absolutely, it was great seeing you there, Deanna.
Hi, Deanna.
And the Hammer, yes sir, Jamie Gillen. He's kind of growing on me. I don't know about you. I know Tom's not as high on that guy, but I'm slowly starting to like him, you know.
I don't think I really have an opinion on him yet.
And Deanna says hi back to you, Sam.
Hi.
Scotty, I appreciate it. You pretty much help. You pretty much teach me a bit of fun facts, so I'd like to think you may have created a monster in that department. Even back in
Indeed.
the day when we saw each other pretty much all those summers back when I was like 12. So yeah, no, I think the next question is what about Kadarius Toney and Wandale Robinson? I would say I'm not so optimistic on those two.
No, no, it's like at this point, even like, will
Scott says, or sorry, Tom says both are from Scotland.
I don't think I realized that Graham Gano was from Scotland. I don't know why I didn't put two and two together there. But yeah, I'm honestly, and like the thing is too, even I mean, I don't know about Wandale just because he's a rookie, but if Kadarius even comes back into the game, is he going to even change anything for us? Like, is he going to make a difference on the offense? I don't even know.
And you knew David was gonna make some sort of comment related.
There you go.
Absolutely. And now I think the last question before we get to the keys to the game. Does Fabian Moreau start at cornerback number 2? To me, I would say yes, because our secondary, as I said, is paper thin.
Yeah. Yeah, it's something that definitely needs a lot of help. The line is doing so well, but we need to be able to um, dominate on the secondary because if we don't, then like there are times where like things get passed, big plays get done down the field and those guys aren't making it there and it's just, that's something that's costing us a game.
Noah Dibler in with his typical trolling comment. Tom looks different tonight. I mean,
Noah.
you can always count on our buddy Noah Dibler for a good troll before we have to boat race him in the comments section.
That's funny.
Oh man. So now let's get to our keys to the game. And Sam, I'm going to start with you. What's your first key to the game?
I'm gonna brand myself as you have get off the field on third down. I'm gonna say stop the run just because of, the Packers run game is so strong with someone like Aaron Jones and AJ Dillon. But my main key to the game is definitely going to be we need to protect Daniel Jones. We need the offensive line to be an actual brick wall because God forbid the guy goes down and we see him with a walker out on the field, it's not gonna be pretty whatsoever. And then we're gonna see someone like Davis Webb come into the game.
Oh, Sam,
So
why would you speak Scotty's comment into existence?
I'm just that's to me the most important thing because of the fact that he just got it. He's injured. He might be a little frail in some ways. So that's going to be the thing. Don't let anybody touch him. Be a brick wall for him. Let him get off the ball down the field or even take off and protect him that way. But protect Daniel Jones at all costs. That's my key.
And that line is going to have their hands full because Rashawn Gary and Preston Smith, as I will get into later, are absolute sack machines.
Yep.
And for my key to the game, I'm going to go on the other side and say you got to pressure Aaron Rodgers. If you blitz him like crazy, that could be a problem because the Packers' offensive line is kind of bagged up, and the Giants' defense, they had 6 sacks like last week. That was a big reason as to why they won that game. And also you got to look out for Dubes and Cobb. They have been good security blankets for Aaron Rodgers, especially now that Devontae Adams is gone and enjoying his time in Las Vegas. But of course, as you know, my other key to the game, that would be the obligatory get off the field on third down, which the Giants have actually been doing really well with this year.
For sure. For sure. I think that was part of the reason you said it so many times last year is because it like wasn't happening and like now it's
Right.
finally happening.
No, you're absolutely right. That's exactly why I said it. And I'm also going to have to say limit the penalties more because, that's another thing that I've seen happen where the Giants have been taking some ill-timed penalties right there. And let's
Yeah.
get some more comments. And Scott, I don't know what's up with his angry comment, but it was a great show. You two are great. Gotta run. Till next time. Scotty, thank you so much for tuning in. As
Yeah,
always, I appreciate and hey, hopefully I get to see you again at the Garden this year for a Ranger game. And
nice.
now let's get to some players to watch. And Sam, let's take some turns. And since Tom's not here, I'm thinking maybe we should take two players to watch from each team. What say you?
All right, yeah, that sounds good to me. All right, I'll start. And my original one player was going to be Aaron Jones.
Hmm.
Like I said, stopping the run. Like Aaron Jones has been a phenomenal running back for this team for a while. And, you know, the Green Bay Packers are a team that like doesn't have a running quarterback like the Giants do, as Danny Jones takes off all the time. But Aaron Rodgers is not as much of a mobile quarterback, so having someone like Aaron Jones on the team is very, very important for them, and they utilize him in the best way possible. So I would definitely say he's one of the players to watch. Um, and I'll even throw in, one of those guys you mentioned before about my key to the game. I'll throw in Rashawn Gary just because, this is somebody who's going to be aiming for Daniel Jones's head during this game. And that's going to be a guy that we need to watch to make sure that that doesn't happen. And the Packers defense has improved so significantly over the past few years. So he's definitely going to be someone to keep your eye on.
Yeah, no, I think those are good choices. I'm gonna go with the other half of that linebacking duo, Rashawn Gary. He and I'll give you a fun fact about those two. Last year, they became the second linebacking duo in team history to both have 9+ sacks in the same season. And in fact, the only other combo also involved Preston Smith, actually. That was in 2019. It was him and Zadarius, actually. I don't know if they're related, but
They're
still,
not. I
no,
found that out.
I didn't think so. Smith is way too common of a last name.
Yeah. It's just funny that they were on the same line on the same team.
Yeah, for sure. So I'm going to go with the other half. And then I'm also going to go with another underrated member of the Packers defense. That's Kenny Clark, the nose tackle, who on the year has 15 tackles. And he's one of only three Packers defensive tackles in franchise history, actually, to earn multiple Pro Bowls. So I would say he's another guy that the Giants definitely have to watch out for. And let's just throw in the name Aaron Rodgers just because.
Just because. I wanna throw one more in the mix.
Go for it.
Just because last week I saw him do something that I was like, "This is so important and no one talks about it." Mercedes Lewis, who is a tight end for the Packers, but is, like, mostly blocking. He does such a good job blocking for Aaron Rodgers in every way, shape, or form, and he's someone that's really imperative to, like, obviously not their offensive line, but just blocking in general, so he's someone else to look out for.
Absolutely. And now let's go over to the New York Giants side. I'm going to start off with this one. So I think you pretty much know I've been taking him a lot. I'm going to go with Andrew Thomas again, just because, again, he's going to have another really tough assignment with some really good Green Bay Packers linebackers. But I have a lot of faith, and he could probably, I'm not going to say like stop him completely, but at least limit the damage that they could potentially be doing. I'm also going to go with another unsung member of the offense, and that's tight end Daniel Bellinger, who has done a really good job helping the running game and been a really good blocking tight end. And so far, he's got some decent hands, so I definitely think he will have that good game. And then, last but not least, I'm going to go with Xavier McKinney. I still think that I still think that first interception has to come sooner or later. No.
Yeah, definitely. It's hopefully it'll be happening this weekend because that would be phenomenal for us, but I am definitely going to be keeping an eye out for him. You took one of my main guys there, Daniel Bellinger, who I was going to be singing his praises. As you guys know, I'm a big Giants tight end fan for some reason. But I feel
With
like
the
he's
exception of number 88 last year.
right, we don't talk about EE. He just
Yeah.
let him live in Jacksonville by himself over there. It's fine.
Yeah, at
But
least we got Trevor. It's all good. I
he's
wouldn't
fine.
mind that for him.
But yeah, Daniel Bellinger, I think, just to reiterate what you said, I feel like is going to be someone who is going to help us a lot, like getting those big plays down the field, kind of how Tanner Hudson was also assisting last week. Even though he's only targeted a couple of times in a game, like they're one important and two, I feel like he's going to get into the red zone for us more often than we think. And that's really important, obviously, because we need to put points on the board. I'll even throw in our player of the week, Dexter Lawrence. Obviously, if Leo doesn't play, it's going to be really important for him to step up to the plate in terms of Aaron Jones and AJ Dillon on that run plays for the Packers. And we'll throw in Saquon too, just because, you got to throw in Saquon and Daniel Jones just to say, like, these are the two guys that have been dominating in our offense right now. So those two guys for sure.
And I think Daniel Jones is another important player to watch in this game because listen, we don't know what he's going to be like. We don't know how much that injury is going to be hurting him in this game or how much it's going to really affect him. But as I said, if you've looked at him over the course of the past few games, I really think he's a guy that is slowly maybe starting to grow on me again. I'm not going to go as far as to declare him the franchise quarterback just yet. I still need to see a lot more, and I don't want to just be that guy. But I feel like he has been doing a lot better under this coaching staff. And again, it's amazing what competent coaching can do for one quarterback.
Definitely. It's incredible. I mean, he looks good. Like, he really, like, the problems that are happening within the offense are not his fault. Like, he is doing what he needs to do as a quarterback. So that's really all we ask.
Let's get to this comment. And oh, God, please tell me I did not read. Yeah. Let me get that shit. Let me get that shit off my screen. But no, in all seriousness, thanks again for tuning in, Blue City Empire Sports.
Mm-hmm.
At least you root for a good another blue team in this sport. So there you go.
Yeah, good
And
stuff.
now let's talk about the injuries. I'm going to read off the injury report for both teams. Azeez Ojulari has been dealing with a calf. He did not practice. Aaron Robinson, obviously, we know about his knee injury. He is going to be out for a while. And hopefully he is not done for the season, but we know that is a possibility. So definitely got to cross our fingers for him. Cordell Flott has been dealing with a calf. He also did not practice. We know that Tyrod Taylor did not practice either. He is dealing with a concussion. Did some running today, but of course, we are pretty much expecting Davis Webb to be suiting up as the backup quarterback. Kenny Golladay is dealing with a knee injury. He did not practice, but if we're being real, like, and this is not to like be a jerk or anything to him, Kenny Galladay's addition by subtraction. And there's a reason I didn't even mention him until now.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then you had got Kadarius Toney. He's been dealing with the hammy issue. Had a bit of regression today. What a shocker. Guy really can't catch a break. Henry Mondo, ankle injury, did not practice. Leonard Williams looks like he's making progress. He's still dealing with his knee issues. He had a limited practice. Nick McLeod has ankle issues, also limited practice. Fabian Moreau has also been playing with limited practice due to foot issues. He's probably going to be one of those cornerbacks. Julian Love dealing with a concussion, limited practice, and Daniel Jones. We know about his injury. He had limited practice, but we are expecting him to play despite the ankle injury. And Richie James dealing with knee issues, but also had a limited practice. Same with Wan'Dale Robinson. And then Nick Gates also had a limited practice, as well as Evan Neal with neck issues, but I think Evan Neal's probably going to play.
Yeah. What a novel that was. Like, our injury report takes so long to get
It's
through.
not. I take no pleasure in hearing Tom have to read off that every week and doing it myself. The same thing.
That was a long one.
And now, as far as the Packers go, this one's not going to take as long. Devontae Wyatt has been dealing with a quad issue. He did not practice. Adrian Amos has a concussion. He had limited practice. David Bakhtiari with his knee had limited practice. Tariq Carpenter has been dealing with abdomen problems. He also had limited practice, as did Elton James with knee stuff. Alan Lazard had an ankle injury. He had limited practice. Josh Myers, the center, had a foot injury, limited practice again. Full practice went to Jaire Alexander with the groin injury, and he is Green Bay's number one cornerback. That didn't take so long, did it?
No, that one was much shorter.
And now for the exciting part and that will be the game predictions. And to answer this question, I think you guys know I'm going to say yes.
Yeah. Daniel Jones will play.
So, Sam, as usual, I'm going to start with you for your predictions. What is your expectation for this game?
I definitely think it's going to be a very close game. I think that, they're gonna it's also tough with the time difference and the traveling and it's big. I know that we're 2-0 in London, but I'm really, really feeling like this is gonna be a tough competition. Going up against Green Bay, going up against Aaron Rodgers is not an easy feat. So I am gonna say Green Bay is going to win, but I think it's going to be ridiculously close. I'm saying 21-18, like some random score here. And it's just going to like literally come down to the wire if unless a field goal is going up at the end, like something like that. So hopefully it's a good game, but I definitely think it's going to be one low scoring and two very close.
That definitely is a smart prediction, and I think it makes a lot of sense. So, here's my thinking. If the New England Patriots with a third string quarterback can hold their own and force the Packers into overtime, I don't see why the Giants can't find a way to hold their own the same way for most of the game. Now, granted, a lot has to go right in favor of the Giants for that to happen. But I think for the most part, the defense will do a pretty good job shutting them down. I think Aaron Rodgers is going to have his hands full against Winks Funhouse. However, unfortunately, as much as I want to be that guy that like pulls off the upset, I don't think I can realistically go against you. I have to go with the Packers as well. However, my final score prediction is going to be a little bit bigger. I think the Giants are going to keep it a little bit close, but the Packers are going to probably break away in the second half. So I'm going to predict that the final score is going to be 24-14 Green Bay.
Yeah. Yeah. I can see that happening for sure.
And now, last but not least, let's get to the prediction from the one, the only, the host of this show, Tom Scavetta. And without further ado, take it away.
Hey everyone, I'm sorry I can't be there tonight, but I do want to make my prediction for this game. I think a big key for this game is protecting Daniel Jones. Rashawn Gary has 5 sacks. He's a very scary player, big player to watch for me. Andrew Thomas will be tested. Also, Preston Smith, another sack machine. Packers have the best third down defense in the NFL, so it's going to be tough. It's going to be very tough for the Giants to win this football game, but I think they're going to keep it close. I think what really hurts this team is that the Giants are depleted at wide receiver right now. Green Bay knows that. They're going to try to stop the run, and if they do, it's going to be very difficult to score points in this game. But I love this coaching staff. I love the Giants' defense, and the fact that it's a neutral site game gives me some optimism, hoping that the Giants can keep this close. But ultimately, I'm going to pick the Green Bay Packers to win this game by a final score of 20-17. Thanks.
That was Tom, and that was his prediction for this game. And, if I'm to make any comment about it, I think, again, Tom was being very realistic with this pick, as he usually is. And, it pretty much makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, I didn't even see that video, and I would argue that we made a lot of the same points, and our score was even very, very, very similar. It was off by 1 on both numbers. So, I mean, I can definitely see where Tom's coming from, and that it would suck to lose, but I feel like this is a realistic thought process for us.
And look, don't get me wrong. I'm of the same belief as Tom, where I think it's more fun if one of us has like a disagreement pick. However, as you know from like the past episodes, whenever I make my picks, I'm sure Tom, for the most part, is pretty much the same way. I generally prefer to be realistic and try to think with my brain as opposed to my heart, although the latters happen with me occasionally every now and then. But
It happens to all of us sometimes, it is what it is.
what are you going to do? Well, I'll have more games down the line where you'll see me picking the Giants. But unfortunately, this game isn't the time. I just think the opponent is too tough. However, it's not entirely out of the realm of possibility just because this is a weaker Packers squad than in years past. And as Daniel Bakley points out, Green Bay has struggled in the passing game, but Aaron Jones has been on point. And again, I think, to get back to what you said earlier, I think Aaron Jones is definitely going to be a key factor for the Packers in this game, and he's going to be somebody to watch for. And I don't think we really touched on him that much in the players to watch segment, but yeah, I definitely agree with that comment.
Yeah, 100%.
And we have another comment from Tom. People can say what they want about Alex Wilson, but he was 100% right about Kadarius. And I mean, look, this is the thing. If you're going to go around like following a reporter and complaining about him as opposed to worrying about your health and your playing time, I think that kind of says something, does it not?
No, yeah, it definitely does. It definitely does. And like we know Kadarius Toney, he's somebody who likes to put it all out on social media, open his mouth a lot. It's kind of just like the way he is, but it is what it is.
Yeah, no, and like I said, there's a reason why I was never really too big into drafting Kadarius Toney to begin with, but that's an issue for another day. But Sam, once again, I want to thank you again for take this time and helping me out in the absence of Tom. And this was definitely an interesting show, and it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's always different without one of us here, but we made it happen, Hank. We got through the hour. We talked about the Giants, and I think we made some really great points.
Yeah, and all things can, and we talked about a good memory that happened last week. And let me
Certainly
show this
did.
picture out again.
Yeah, throw it up there.
The big three in the parking lot, making our way into that giant stack of CDs in the background. No, I'm kidding. It's not that bad of a stadium. I mean, is it my favorite? No, but like it's what it is. But it's always fun to watch a game at that place. And thank you, Daniel, for tuning in. I appreciate that. And yeah, I cannot wait to wake up pretty early, watch some football in my pajamas, have some breakfast. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Tea and crumpets for breakfast on Sunday.
Yes. Yes, you got it. But in any event, let me give you guys a friendly neighborhood reminder. Please don't forget to follow us on all of our social medias. You can find us on Instagram and Twitter at Big Blue Avenue. And of course, if you're watching us on YouTube, please don't forget to hit that big red button down below. Give us a like, give us a comment, let us know your thoughts. We want to hear from you guys. But of course, as usual, you have watched another episode of Big Blue Avenue. Sam will be back next week. I will be back next week. And you can be sure that the main man, Tom, will be back as well as normal. But until next time, from all of us at Big Blue Avenue, for Tom Scavetta, for Sam Cordona, I'm Hank and Dicker, and I will see you guys later.